What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out the sequel, actually, the RPG sequel to one of my most favoritist games, Cultist Simulator. It's a very, very good game, and it is the birthchild of a guy named Alexis Kennedy and his partner, Lottie Bevan. They started out actually doing fail-better stuff for, I think, Sunless Sea and also for Fallen London, and ultimately parted ways with that company and started their own thing. And there are very, very few people in the world that I think have a command over the English language like Alexis Kennedy and Lottie Bevan do. And so their writing tends to be very, very good, very esoteric, meaningless and meaningful all at the same time, which kind of, I think, imbues their games with a sort of aimlessness, like a focused aimlessness that's hard to reproduce in other titles. Like, it's a game where you're supposed to be feeling around in the dark and honestly really captures sort of that idea of early 1900s occultism, where they're taking things out of context, but somehow that ends up working, and you're piecing together kind of these great Lovecraftian mysteries. In Book of Hours, you are not running a cult. Instead, you have washed up on the shores of an island with a simple missive that says that you are to take over as the head of a library that is full of occult writings, and you're supposed to facilitate the rebuilding of that place by solving mysteries, acquiring sort of antiquities and things of that nature in order to become the best librarian of the house, the Hush House, I think is what it's called. And so anyways, interesting stuff. They sent out this demo this morning. I got it straight from the developers. So we're going to dive on in for about 25-30 minutes. I don't know if there's enough content in the demo to actually last an entire video. We'll go until we run out of stuff to do. Sometimes it feels like there's not things left to do, but there actually are. Just because this game and Cultist Simulator are just that kind of game where you'll sit there for a while scratching your head like, what am I supposed to do next? I have no idea, and then eventually you'll stumble upon the solution. If after watching this you end up wanting to check the game out, I will have a link for you down below in the description. The same demo that I am playing should be live like February 6th, I think, for like the Steam Next Fest, so you'll be able to play through it as well and see if you find anything that I missed. There will also be a link down below to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. But this has been kind of a long intro, so we'll go ahead and start it on up. We will purge the playthrough, and we will start over fresh. Alright, there has been no librarian at the Hush House since the fire, 7 years now. Suitable candidates are very difficult to find, but perhaps we have found one in you. Take care on your journey. The seas around Brandkrug are treacherous. So this is where we start out, on the beach. The entire game actually has like a big map that you're going to be uncovering as it goes along, and there's different interactivities and things you can do at each of those locations. The game also has a timeline up at the top, but we haven't unlocked it yet for like day and night and like when things refresh and when you can use skills and memories and things like that again. For now, all we can really do is click on the reflection or like the thinking button. And it says the cold comes first. Thunder growling, waves pounding, and finally me, sprawled on the sodden sand of the beach. There is something in my hand. So there you go. We have washed up with a package, the one possession that I kept from the shipwreck. It must be important to me. We also have a memory of the storm. There are storms great enough to shake the moon from the sky and one's thoughts from one's skull. And then this right here is actually one of our fundamental attributes. This is our health. If you ever played Cultist Simulator, you will understand this system instantaneously, but to someone who's uninitiated, that has never played any of the Alexis Kennedy games, effectively everything from memories to skills to attributes to all that kind of stuff are going to be represented by cards that you're going to be accumulating kind of on the board throughout the course of the game, and every single card is going to have, I guess, constituent parts. So if we look at our health right here, it's got a tag for soaked, which means that we are soaked right now. It's got a tag for the heart, which is one of the fundamental elements in all of the Alexis Kennedy games. We've got an element of the soul here, and then we've also got the element of winter, which implies that we are cold and kind of like freezing right now. And you will learn more and more and more about all of these various attributes. In fact, you will have to if you want to advance through the game. You'll kind of have to intuitively understand, like, okay, so I need like an attribute of like warmth and of passion and things like that to complete this challenge. Let's go ahead and take a look at this book that's inside of our hands. All we have is a memory of the storm. So we'll go ahead and throw that on in there. However, this game does have a cool thing where if you click on the slot, I don't know if this existed in Cultist Simulator. I think it did to a certain extent, but if you click on the slot, it'll tell you the attributes that a card needs to have in order to advance. And it's a very, very important clue if you want to move your way through the game. And so anyways, let's contemplate our memory of the storm. There was a storm and it smashed the ship like an egg, but I seized this book as the sea seized me. Then the sea brought me here to Brandkrug. And so after a little bit of time and contemplation, we will learn more about the book. There was a storm. Let's see here. And Brandkrug is where I wanted to be, but it's hard to remember why. What else did I lose in the storm? And so we've gotten some new things. We've gotten some more stats. So for right now, we have Shapt, which is eloquence and understanding. The door must open both ways. We've got Chore, which is exuberance, instinct, rhythm. And we've got Fet, the part of us which dreams. And so these are going to be stats just like our health that we can use to kind of contemplate our way through various mysteries. For right now, I don't actually remember what I'm supposed to do next. I'm pretty sure we have to slot something in over here. And it says that we need like a piece of ourselves, and it should also have a memory tag. So that's probably maybe Shapt. The human soul has 9 parts. Eloquence and understanding rise from the part of the soul that we call Shapt. Is my Shapt strong? I can recover this ability, and the other 2 will be lost to the sea. The last time I played through, I took Fet. And so this is kind of like basically just being a dreamer, being passionate, being an artist, stuff like that. And ultimately, it changed the course of my storyline. So my character was an artist before he arrived on Brandkrug. If we go with Shapt or we go with Chore, chances are we'll be something different. Let's try Chore. Apparently, let's see here. Exuberance, enthusiasm, and instinct all rise from the part of your soul that you call the chore. Let's do it. I mean, being motivated is kind of a chore. I'm not going to lie. It's actually probably not the worst way to do it. And as you can see, we lost the other attributes. This is the coast where Brandkrug Isle lies. It wasn't easy to come here, but I don't give up easily. Even so, I know there's no way that I can cross to the isle in these seas. I'll need to find shelter for the night. All right. And so we have restored our chore. We've also unlocked metal, so this is our capacity for making meaningful choices. We unlocked whist, name, memory, and the part which remains. We've also got Faust, which is sight, perception, inspiration, and the glory's gifts. And we've got Arab, pride, compassion, hatred, and fear. We can try to salvage with our chore. Maybe I can do that over here. Nope, that doesn't really unlock anything. What about metal? Oh, metal works. So this is our tempering and our self-discipline. Since we're freezing and dying on the shores of a beach, that's probably a good thing to have. Let's go ahead and give it a run. Perhaps here I can atone for what I've done, but what was it? First things first, I remember that there's someone in the village who will give me sanctuary if I can get there. So we've had mysteries added to the journal. So there you go. We have one thing that we can work off of, an old friend's address. Okay. What does this want right here? Oh, it wants a book. Okay. So we'll put it's got the tag of a book and an investigative thing. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. I don't know if it's going to work. I can't glean anything from the book until I've dried it out carefully. All right, fair enough. We'll throw that on in there. This right here is a contact card, and it has an aspect of the forge, which is basically elemental fire and that which warms. All right. Actually, we've unlocked, that's what it is. We've unlocked the talking category. So now we can go to locations and we can talk so long as we've got something that's got the little telephone tag or it's got like a little mouth on it. So what we can do here is Brandkrug Village has got to be nearby. It's hard going dragging my soaked body across the soaked sand in the teeth of this wind. Everybody's soaked, though. We're all equal in the soaky sand. Which way should we go? We have a memory of fear. Okay. And so over here, if we've got something that has an element of the soul, and also the little pop-ups are a little bit weird in this game. Like, they tend to pop up, like, when you don't want them to pop up and get in the way. So we need something with an element of the soul. We need something with either knock, which is basically kind of like thievery, guile, silence, whispers, things like that are associated with the knock. We have the heart, which is basically constitution. I've clicked away another menu on accident. The menus can be a little bit difficult to navigate from time to time. The rose, which encompasses all 9 directions to new horizons, exploration, and enlightenment. Okay, so we need to find something that has these tags right here. That might work. My instinct tells me it might be this way, and without a map, instinct is as good a compass as any. Does metal work right there? No, so we have to use chore. All right, so we'll use chore, and we'll see if we can find our way to our friend here on Brandkrug Island. 3 more seconds to drop. The cliffs grow dark against the ragged stars. And then at last I see the light of a hurricane lamp bobbing in the dark. As it approaches, a face glimmers above the lamp. We have the fisherman over here. The fisherman from Brandkrug Village. He can guide me up the cliff path if he'll trust me. Okay, so we got to put him in the talk slot. Come no closer. What's thy business? We probably want to give him an old friend's address. So there's someone that'll speak for ye? Of course, since 1930 and the Restoration, the locals have grown ever more suspicious of foreigners. But there is someone in Brandkrug that I know. I'll take ye by the cliffs, then. The gentleman is no longer skeptical of us. Good. So now we should be able to go up to here, and we put him in there. Brandkrug Village, sanctuary in the storm. I'll need help to climb the cliffs in the dark, and the locals are suspicious of outsiders. More than ever so since the Restoration and the new king. And there it is. We've unlocked the village. So now we can officially get up here, and the fisherman is with us no longer. Now we need to figure out exactly who it is that we know here in Brandkrug. Over here on this side, we have the smithy. And Denzel Smith has more work than he needs, and he rarely opens the door to strangers. You will need an introduction marked with Edge, Forge, or Grail. Oh, this is a lot more forgiving. So this is way more forgiving than Cultist Simulator. Cultist Simulator, you would just click on this spot right here, and you had to look at the icons and figure it out for yourself. In this game, it actually flat out tells you that you need a person, and that person, their soul needs to be imbued with Edge, which is kind of combat and murder and anger. Forge, which is kind of like warmth and restoration and that which heats. And I think Grail is like lust, passion, or like matters to do with kind of like, physical loving, that kind of stuff. Anyways, we also have a post office. The postmistress may have something for me once I know what to ask for, but the door is locked for right now. Okay, we have the rectory. Reverend Timothy is a hospitable soul, but Terrence's housekeeper guards her employer fiercely. She doesn't want his innocent theological enthusiasms getting him in trouble with the new king's men. You need an introduction that is marked with lantern, knock, or sky. Okay. We also have the Sweet Bones over here. After the Restoration of 1930, the new king's agents came looking for his enemies in these parts, and they weren't gentle about it. Since those days, the locals are suspicious of foreigners. No one in the Sweet Bones will talk to me. Okay. And then over here, we have Mrs. and Mr. Kill. Mrs. Killa, the midwife, is tall and gloomy. Mr. Killa, the undertaker, is slight and wry. In these troubled times, both are wary of strangers. We need a suitably marked introduction. Check the slot. So we need an introduction that has moon, winter, heart. Any of those really will do. And the good news is I think ours has forge. Oh, so I don't think it'll actually work here. Yeah, we need to find an introduction that has to do with forge. So chances are actually that we need to make friends with him. Yeah, there we go. So it's different depending on your beginning. The last time I played through the demo, it was the gravedigger that was an old friend of mine. This time around, it is the... This time, it's the blacksmith that is my old friend. I will ask for shelter. You, here, how? Denzel has only the one bed, but he offers me a straw mattress in his smithy. It's smoky, but the warmth is very, very welcome. So in 30 seconds, hopefully our health will be restored. And as you can see, we've unlocked the timeline. So as you play through the game, different things are going to happen in different seasons, which is this lower timeline down here. And then at different times of the day, different things will happen and be available to you while you're going throughout your occult studies and trying to restore the library. But for right now, we just got to find our way to the library. Denzel pauses at the door as I wish him good night. Son will be back, he observes. Always do. Used to say that in the war, didn't we? The words linger as he clumps up the passage. The lamp flame flickers, red, gold, then red. So we've got ourselves a memory of revelation. Some truths come from the outsider above, And from what he says, it sounds like we served in World War I together. It sounds like we're old war buddies, which makes sense given the fact that we took Constitution and we took, like, Forbearance and we took, like, being healthy effectively as our main stats. Now, every single morning, all of your memories are going to dissipate, just to simulate kind of you forgetting things. So if you have temporary memories or sort of like these fleeting compassions or whatnot that are inside your memory slot, they disappear in the morning. But anyways, what does he want over here? Denzel doesn't smile when he welcomes you in, but that's mainly because he's Denzel. Oh, Denzel. So we can't have anything fatigued, but if we have matters of the heart, we have matters of the forge, or we have matters of edge, we can. And then it also needs to be an element of the soul. So chances are we can go to the smoky room right here. I'm always welcome at Denzel's smithy. Denzel will offer help for free as a friend. Okay, so that'll actually add him to our inventory as like a follower. With chore, it looks like it does the same thing. And with metal, it looks like it does the same thing. Is this still wet? That's still wet. I think... Can I drop that on the post office counter to prove my identity? Not yet. Okay, so this looks like it's going to play out a little bit differently, so it may take me a little bit of fiddling here. When I played through as an artist, I was friends with the Gravedigger, and I basically got all the way through the demo. It probably took me about an hour, but I got most of the way through the demo, and I think I unlocked just about everything for the artist. But this time around, we're kind of a war buddy, so let's kind of see what happens here. Denzel doesn't work for free, but he won't take payment for helping a friend. There we go. Denzel watches with grave interest as I dry out the book in the warmth of the forge fire. He provides wads of cotton to put between the pages, but otherwise keeps his distance. He is wary of the written word. I am beginning to suspect that he can't read. I do not expect he will ever tell me. Alright, so our health is fatigued for the rest of the day. We won't be able to use it as an attribute. However, we did get the mottled book, and this is a different book than I had when I played through as an artist, too. So it seems like there are a number of branching paths here from my experience thus far, where based on the stats that you take at the beginning of the game, and who your initial friend starts out as in town, you get a different occult book that you're going to be deciphering as you go through the game in order to kind of spur you forward. My general advice with this game is if you don't know what to do next, look at the book. And so we will consider the book. Is this my journal? The storm so scattered my thoughts. So in 10 seconds, we will have our answer. But this is a much more applied version of Cultist Simulator. Cultist Simulator really did not give you a whole lot of visual input. It didn't give you a whole lot of goading. Like, it was really a game about feeling around in the dark and having no idea what you were doing, playing with powers that you didn't understand. In this game, it seems like they give you quite a bit more guidance. Like, your character has a narrative. They have a thing that they are undertaking. And while that was also true about Cultist Simulator, there was a thick layer of esotericism on Cultist Simulator that I think obfuscated that a little bit. Whereas in this game, I found that it's a little bit easier to decipher just given the amount of prompting and also narrative that the game gives you. And I think that's probably a good thing that makes the game a little bit more accessible, even though it's still suitably weird. It's my journal. I'm sure of it. The storm scattered my thoughts, but each page I turn is familiar. I begin to recall now why I came here. It was to make amends. More about your origin and your aspirations have been unlocked in your journal. Okay. We got a second health card. That's nice. So we can actually stack these up, too. So we've got 2 health cards now. Can I consider what else can go inside of here? So if I put the book inside of there... now looks like we can take a soul and we can put a skill in there, maybe? Let's investigate this second slot and kind of see what it wants. I need to apply myself. I'll put metal in there. You've provided edge, but not enough to meet the mastery. You might succeed. Okay, what if I put chore in there? This book holds a edge mystery. To study the book successfully, add edge that is equal to mystery edge. Okay, so we need 2 edge in order to get further into this mystery. We have 1 edge right there by nature of our soul having metal, but we may need help here. I don't know if the smithy is going to have edge. I'm pretty sure he's forge, but we can try. Oh, it's nighttime right now, so I'm not going to be able to interact with him. Okay, so the dawn is about to break, I think. I took a look at the other locations, and I don't think we have what it takes to get into most of them except for the post office. The postmistress regards me with the chilly gaze of a goddess image in an ancient hill shrine. The librarians, she says. Yes, I have something for you. Wait here, please. That's good. That should get us moving. And then once dawn breaks, I'm going to enlist his help real fast just to see what stats he has on his card. The postmistress returns with an envelope addressed to the librarian of Hush House, Brandkrug Isle, postmarked in Wales a week ago. Okay, so the postmistress keeps the gate to the wider world. In her left hand is the lightning, which is to say the telegraph, and in her right the thunder. That is to say the only telephone in Brandkrug. We have received a 10-shilling note, so that's half a pound. I have no idea how to decipher English money. As I recall, it has something to do with 12s, but you may not have guessed this from my voice, but I am not from Britain. I know that there's pounds, and I know that there's shillings, and I know that there's pence, but how they are divided, I've actually never really dove into. What can go right here? We need something that is marked ready for post. Okay, so I think we're about done there. Dawn has struck, which means I can come back to the smithy. And let's just kind of like see what happens here. Denzel doesn't work for free, but he won't take payment for helping a friend. Good, because I'm not going to give him my 10-shilling note. There it is. All right, so what does his card have on it? He's our friend till the end of the day. Ah, he does have edge. So yeah, we're old war buddies then, because this is usually the attribute of a fighter when combined with the forge. And so anyway, I only know that because I've played Cultist Simulator about 1,000 times. Let's go ahead and we'll put metal in there. That'll give us 1 edge. Oh no, he doesn't have a skill though. I need a skill that's going to let me do that. Okay, so while we've got him then, until the end of the day, the sun's about to go down, but what we can do is every sod bridges to the isle. Each bridge lasts 100 years or 200, then the sea disposes of it. This one, built in the 1890s, is the newest bridge, but that doesn't mean it's new. Pretty sure he repairs the bridge. Indeed he does. So there we go. And we have now unlocked the Hush House, kind of. But his help has run out for right now. We are going to need to find a skill that gives us edge before we're going to be able to decipher further mysteries of the book. And then over here, we have a new location. There we go, the Keeper's Lodge. A cottage where... Hey, how come you're not on screen right now? Be on the screen. There we go. A cottage where Hush House's groundskeeper lived until the fire. If I can get into the place and make it habitable, I can use it as a base for reclaiming more of the house. So the local blacksmith can defeat the door. The rector probably has a key, and the midwife knows how to jiggle the latch on the back door. So we're probably going to have to enlist the help of our homie over here again, unfortunately. So there we go. I feel bad. I feel like I'm using this guy right now. Like, we've showed up. We have all these demands like, hey, man, I need you to architecturally repair an entire bridge. And then also, do you have a spare key to my house? But there we go. The blacksmith should be able to get rid of the key, or get rid of the lock for us. And there it is. We have now officially unlocked Hush House. So we don't really get to rebuild Hush House during the course of this demo. As you can see, there are many rooms right here, and every single room is going to have challenges and kind of like skill caps that we're going to need to defeat in order to unlock that part of the room, which will then give us access to more skills, so on and so forth, that allow us to basically talk to more people, send more telegraphs, read more books, and thus you find kind of the cyclical nature of this game and also kind of Cultist Simulator. The demo ends if we send anybody into here. So basically, if we pick up anybody from town that has this little hand icon, which means they're assisting us, and we put them in that slot, this will kill off the demo. However, there are still things for us to do around here. We've been given this little room right here. And actually, there are things in here that are interactable. We can pick up the skull. We can pick up the beaker. This right here is like a snoodle jar. Apparently, there's something called snootlery. It's marked with... looks like the aspect of the moth, which is basically chaos or like stealth in some cases. There's also lantern. Lantern is kind of like the symbol of secrets and the illumination thereof. But we've got some books over here. We've got Traveling at Night, which is a knock mystery. I don't know if we have any knock. It looks like we've mostly got Forge. We've got a little bit of Grail. It looks like we have a little bit of, I think health was Heart. And so we're going to want to find a book in here that we can defeat. So Mystery of the Edge, Traveling at Night. We can actually do this one. So we'll drag that up to our inventory, and we will consider it. And then I think Metal should defeat it. I begin to understand. You've provided enough edge to match the mystery. This book holds an edge mystery. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it didn't have more description there. These are how we're going to unlock basically applied skills that correspond to our stats. So I'm guessing we're probably going to get really, really good at fighting and like busting heads. I've mastered the mystery in this book and gathered the lessons that it concealed. And so as you can see, we've learned a lesson about disciplines. We can then put this into here, and we will master a new skill that has to do with knives or has to do with edge, basically. We're learning to fight better. And then it looks like we may also get attributes of Lantern, which is good. That means that we're kind of an adventurer. Like, we like to uncover secrets, and we like to do that in a violent way. And then we've also got Memory over here, which means that this will more than likely unlock some fragment of our past. Like, this has a particular meaning to us and our character as something that we lived throughout our lives. And so anyways, we'll go ahead and research it. Another leaf on the Tree of Wisdom. And so there it is. We have learned the disciplines of the Scar. To master boundaries through their determinations. This gives us 1 point of Lantern. It will give us, it's got the skill tag on it. It apparently gives us Hushery, which is new. That's not a thing from Cult Simulator. It's also got Illumination. And then it's got 2 attributes of Edge, or Conquest, or Violence. And so anyways, that's good. We now know how to use Violence at a level 2 level. So that's nice. This book is done. It's not really going to be that much more helpful. So I like to sort it out by kind of, once I've already read it, I put it on the shelf over there. The shelf doesn't quite work yet. It lays down horizontally, but there is a sequel to this book as well, I think. Or at least there should be. We should have something else over here that interconnects. So that one's of the Forge. And will require stronger skills. This one right here is a Matter of the Grail. Do I have anything that has a Grail tag on it? I do. I can actually decipher that book with my chore. Okay, let's go ahead and put that in our inventory. And then we will slot in chore, and we will start it. And this should give us a skill that's related to seduction, basically. So not only are we great at pistol whipping a guy in the head, we're kind of a ladies' man as well. You've mastered the book and the secrets it conceals. So there it is. We've learned about the Applebright Euphonies. Okay. I will consider you. And it looks like we have gotten the Applebright Euphonies. Breath is the temptation of the soul. That gives us 1 point of Grail, which is good. You can also level these up if you consider them and you have enough stacks of the lessons over here. This is very much a mechanic from Cult Simulator. And so now we have level 2 Grail that we can use on people. On top of that, we can also probably level up our Disciplines of the Scar, too, to make us have a much higher level of fighting skill. So now we have 3 in Edge, which is very, very nice. I'm going to put this book over here on the shelf because I have completed it. And let's look at these other books. So we have a Mystery of Knock, which is kind of like stealth and thievery and roguery. We have a Book of Grail, and that one actually takes 9 Grail in order to get to the bottom of, which is a pretty tall challenge. I need 3 of the Forge, but I don't know if I have any. I have 2 of the Forge right there from my metal, but I don't have any more Forge from anywhere else, so we're going to have to get to the bottom of that. And that's a Mystery of the Moon. I don't think I have any moon mysteries. However, didn't this require... Right here, this required 2 Edge, and we totally and completely have that. almost exclusively with just our metal, but we can put our disciplines and the scar in right there, which will give us 4, and now we can understand this book. So let's go ahead and see what it's got like whittled away for us. So squirreled away, we've uncovered a mystery of the book. And it looks like that mystery is... What did that do for us? I laid so many of these uncanny things to rest. I thought it was right. I fear now it was not. I am the librarian of Hush House, and here I will ensure that they will be remembered. The executioner came to the house to master preservation, to atone for their crimes, but you can complete the game by mastering any of the wisdoms. Yeah, that was pretty much the goal of Cult Simulator 2, is you were trying to accumulate, I think, level 8 of any of the fundamental attributes, whether it be Forge, or whether it be Seduction, or whether it be Murder, or whatever else. You were trying to achieve level 8 in that throughout your entire cult, so that you could enter the Mansus, which is like a weird, creepy mansion in the sky. I don't know what that exactly accomplished for me. Okay, so the text has already been mastered, so we can't read it any further. So I need more skills of the Forge to do the next book. I'm like 1 shy. Like, I can take this book and I can put it in right there, and from our chore, we get 2 of the Forge, but we need 3 in order to get through this mystery. Otherwise, it's just kind of like a... Otherwise, it's sort of like random, and I would rather not have it be random. So I'm going to hold on to this to remind myself. Let's go back to the village and see if there's anything we can do here. So we still need an introduction if we want to meet this lady. We have a welcoming note. The trust congratulates me on my appointment as a librarian of Hush House. The trust assures me that it will provide the promised stipends, funds for the maintenance of the library, but reminds me that its resources are limited and suggests I seek local assistance in restoring the premises. Let us know when you are set up and ready to receive visitors, it concludes. It is signed simply, The Trustees. Okay. I'm probably... Close. Please close. Okay, it's not going to close. Let's see here. The rectory is locked, and we need an introduction to the rectory as well. So unfortunately, we don't have that introduction. The Sweet Bones... It looks like this has a tag of diplomacy, bribery, or metal. We do have metal, so we'll go ahead and give that a try. I'm not going away. You don't have to like me. I mean, the other option is chore. I've learnt about that honest enthusiasm is solvent for surliness. Maybe we should not pummel all the locals first. And I feel like showing up in town and throwing these hands and busting open a bunch of orbitals when we first arrive is probably not the best way to make friendships. Eventually, the other patrons unbend enough to let me buy them a pint and let me listen to them complain about the weather. I'll find a warmer welcome here next time. What did we get? A memory of solace. Okay. So if I wanted to come back in here, cards and objects can go in here. So it looks like we can either put a personality in here, a personality attribute, or we can put money in here. Let's try metal. There's not much work on offer in Brandkrug, but I can find 6pence worth of odd jobs. I'll give that a go. Yeah, work is good. I can do odd jobs, man. Chopping firewood, tying your shoes, all that kind of stuff. I'm good for all kinds of manual labor. All right, as they used to say in my youth, the day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay. We got 6pence. All right. So we got a little bit more money than we had previously. It doesn't look like a shilling. Oh, okay, so 1 shilling will hire a casual laborer's services. Fair. What's down this way? Let's see. So we need assistance, and that assistance needs to be of the moon or of the winter. Okay. What can I put in here? So I need an introduction, and that introduction needs to have those other attributes. Fair. I don't have an introduction, so I think that's going to be a little... Oh, but I can get an introduction. I didn't even think about it. I can get an introduction. He's got Edge and he's got Forge. We might be able to get an introduction with somebody. Like, maybe we get him to vouch for us, basically. All right, so what does he have? He does have introduction, and he does have Forge, and he does have Edge. So Lantern, Knock, and Sky. So he's not going to work there. They want Moon, Winter, Heart, Grail, Illumination. So that's not going to work there. Can he help me out over here? He cannot help me out over there. Okay. So this is that common moment in Cultist Simulator where you've really got to think about what it is you can do here. It says here that I can hire with my money from the Sweet Bones. So maybe I'll give that a try. And it looks like it broke my money and it gave me a miner's assistance. And it does look like the miner can introduce me to the kills. A mutual acquaintance has induced the kills to invite me for a fish supper, and if I'm lucky, it may mean Mrs. Killis celebrated galettes. Let's try it. We got to meet everybody in town. But that's what I mean, is these are very much games of, like, it's an RPG. The only difference is your stats are represented by, like, these cards that are leveling up along the way. Mr. Killa pumps my hand. Just me and thee and the missus tonight, eh? Well, there's a client in the back, but if thee don't bother he won't bother thee. The Killis household is now available. Very nice. And we have a memory of satisfaction. And I believe these guys will be able to help us with further introductions, I think. Or I may need to hire another person, but it looks like we have 6 shilling, a crown, and a half crown. So 5 shillings. So that's 5 of those. And then that's 2.5 of those. Gotcha. And then 6 is a... How much is 6? Okay, so 2 of those is a shilling, because the shilling has 12 monetary value, and the 6 has 6 monetary value. So I'm guessing that 2 of those go into 1 of those, and then 5 of these go into 1 of those. And so anyways, I'm starting to get the hang of it. I'm starting to get a feel for monetary systems here. All right. What do they want here? They want something of Grail, or they want something of Winter. I believe that I have Grail. Mrs. Killa likes conversations about beginnings. Her husband prefers to talk about endings. 2 shillings buys her help for a day. What does that do first? Because that's free. The topic can be just money. Okay. You can't get feathers off a toad. Gotcha. What does she give me? Like, what is she good at? I'm a little bit vexed about what I get out of this situation. So with chore, if I put a crown in there, a day's work is a night's dreaming. Okay, I don't want to run out of cash, but we'll find out what she does. What does the midwife do? So the midwife gives us Grail. That's unfortunate because I don't think I need Grail in order to get in over here. I think I needed Moon, and I think I need... You know what? It's going to be this guy over here. All right, let's unlock him real quick. So I need an introduction that has Illumination or Knock on it. Okay. Actually, I don't know what I can use her for, unfortunately. Fair. I think we're going to lose her assistance at the end of the day because I don't know what to use her for right now. It doesn't look like there's anything on the beach. Yeah, the beach doesn't have any interactions as far as I can tell. So yeah, in order to get to Crowcross Sands, I need the assistance, and it's probably the Rector's assistance. But in order to meet the Rector, I need Lantern. I don't have Lantern. What about the Sweet Bones? What can they do for me? They offer you a little bit of Moon. And was it Moon that I needed to get in over here? No, I needed Illumination and I needed Knock or Sky. Okay. It says they give me a little Moon, which I'm a little bit worried is just going to be 1 Moon. I'm running a little bit low on cash right now. Maybe I'll work again to get some money together. Well, I've run into another issue. There doesn't seem to be a way to combine my pence as much as I would. Oh, it gave me a florin. Never mind. Apparently, you click on that little book right there. A shilling per side. Okay, well, it converted my money back over. I spent the entire day trading my stats for cash. And so now I should be able to do something. Hopefully not throwing away my time. In summer, the barber comes by. She gives moth and rose. Oh, different amounts of money get me different assistants. Oh, it's the summer right now, so different people are in here. So it's minors during the last, and this time around. Okay, so we get moth and rose. What do you have going on? You had knock, you had sky, and you had lantern. I'm really struggling to find a way to get on in there. Does he have lantern on him? Come, my friend, I require your assistance once more. He does not have lantern. He has stabbing. He has stabbing and he has forge. Gotcha. There's also this menu right here for the Tree of Wisdom. I don't know exactly how it works. Like, I haven't played around with it too much. It looks like maybe we put that right there. Oh, wow. Okay, so there are always choices, and so there are always regrets, plus tryst. I've got everything on 2x time right now. So that right there requires hushery. I think I have hushery. So we've got illumination, and we've got hushery. So if I put you right there, what happens next? Can I get that back? Oh, I can. I can get that back. All right. What goes in right there? So, Nyctodromy. All right. The Bosk. Okay. Ithistry. Fair. So nothing really has lit up here, but it does look fairly expansive. I'm guessing this is the method by which you advance through the game. The Suppression Bureau. Oh, they're in this game too. Cultist Simulator, the Suppression Bureau, were the guys that were always like hunting you and trying to take you out and killing off your followers. All right. Well, I think we took a look at that. I don't really know. I'm guessing we have to get like these things leveled up. And then further things go into these later slots. However, they've still got the code references in there. So I'm guessing it's probably not implemented for the purposes of the demo. But pretty fascinating little game. I can't wait to actually get hands-on with the 1.0. I absolutely adored Cultist Simulator. That was a game that ate up like my entire life like a year or two ago, where it's just like for weeks, it was all I could do was sit there and flip cards and play Cultist Simulator. I think I beat, it's one of the few games I ever beat 2 or 3 times in a row, in all honesty. And so anyways, kind of a cool idea. Let's put the florin in right there, and we'll hire the barber. Hopefully it's not like a Sweeney Todd barber. Not because of the murder, because of the singing. The barber's assistants. Itinerant barbers of the South County keep you clean and kempt and make sure you don't miss out on news or gossip. So I can't put him into the sweet bones. See, I'm already getting drawn into what the loop of this game is, which is like just fiddling with things and like uncovering mysteries. He's not going to be of any help right there because he doesn't have the introductory stuff that I need. Not going to be of any help right there. Oh God, I think I broke the game. Okay, I don't know what just happened. It was scary though. Barber can't help me down there either. I'm guessing once winter comes around, or fall, there's going to be somebody that has these attributes so that I can open up this area down here. But either way, the video is getting kind of long in the tooth. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had the demo of Book of Hours. Fascinating little game. Very experimental, very odd, very much like its predecessor, Cultist Simulator. But I think it's going to be pretty rad if you're into this kind of stuff. If you're into games that don't give you a lot of guidance and like force you to fiddle with things, topped off with really, really good narrative writing, you'll probably enjoy it. If you like a game that's like, do this next, not the game for you. I can tell you that from my from my Cultist Simulator games. It's going to take some experimentation and some fiddling. Believe you me. I will catch you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then, it's time for me to go. Take care, everybody, and that's all I've got.